Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I am actually going to be doing a bit of, not a makeup tutorial. I feel like let's use that in a really loose sense. I'm going to put makeup on my face that you can follow if you wish, if you like the look of it at the end. I'm gonna say it's more of a get ready with me than a tutorial, because I'm not a makeup guru in any sense of the word. I just really enjoy doing it. I enjoy putting up my face, so I thought I would just show you some of the stuff that I really enjoy and how I tend to put makeup on my face. I've already done my base just because I didn't want to scare you all with how weird my skin is at the moment. And I use the Lasting Finish 25 Hour by Rimmel. I usually use the normal red top one, but this is the breathable one, and it just seems to be a little bit more like, I don't know, it just seems to be nicer on my skin at winter, so I just use the breathable one at the moment. I'm in 100 Ivory because I am pale as F. Like I said, I've just done my base, and now I'm going to just go in with a bit of concealer. This is the Lasting Finish by Collection concealer. It's super cheap, does the job, gets the job done, as some people would like to say if they sang Hamilton. I don't know that much of Hamilton, but I know that that's part of the song. And then pretty much all my brushes, unless I say so, are probably Real Techniques. This is I think it's a stippling brush, and I just find it really nice and soft when I do my concealer. The Insta Duo Contour Stick by Rimmel, and I really like it. I've never used a cream contour before, but I find that this is just so nice to use, especially because obviously when it's winter my skin is dry anyway, and it just makes it even drier. So I would definitely recommend it. But I just kind of draw where I just kind of go where my cheekbone is, and then I just kind of go on my temples a little bit, as you can see just here, and just kind of do a bit of a line just to warm my face up. And then just a little bit on the jawline, just to make it look like I have less chins. I've got it in the light shade. I kind of use it more so to just give me a bit of a flush of colour than an actual contour, because I'm not a pro contour person, I'm just not. I feel like I'd need more of an ashy toned contour stick anyway if I was going to do that, whereas this is quite warm, so I kind of use it more as like a cream bronzer. Also, I've just realised this is my new room. So I'm back home for Christmas, and my mum has wanted to kind of redo my room for a while, and obviously when I left they thought it would be the right time to kind of get going on it, so they decided to redecorate. So obviously the white used to be white, but it was more of a matte, now it's a gloss finish, and it used to be pink in here. It used to be a nice pink room, and that's great. It's a little bit more grown up. I like it a lot. And I've got like a little makeup desk thing here. That's because my mum's put a ribbon on my door. And then this is my bed here. This is Marty's bed, my cat. I'm now going to use, so this is my Z palette. It's mainly filled with Revolution stuff, to be honest. This here, these three, are, again, I think they're the Revolution like powder contours, and you can get them loose so you can put them in a palette. But I'm just gonna go over, because I feel like when I go over the cream contour, it's quite nice to go over it with a powder because it just sets it a little bit more. And also I am pale AF, as I said, so it's quite nice to try and warm my face up a little bit. I use the Revolution brown pomade. I used to use the NYX one. I do think the NYX one's really nice, but I had it for a long time, so I just wanted to get a new one. But I do find that the Revolution one is pretty good, and it doesn't tend to dry out, so I would definitely say that is a good thing. But also, if you watch my last Vlogmas, you'll know, I think it was either my Vlogmas or the vlog before that, where I read a book called The Light We Lost, and it is such a great book. Like, I highly recommend it. Absolutely loved it, really enjoyed it. Because I finished that, I then was in the mood for reading like another kind of romance novel. So I follow Reese Witherspoon's like book club, and for December they decided to do a book called One Day in December by Josie Silver. It's just on my little like my window ledge, so that's why I'm just mentioning it, because it's there. But it is honestly such a lovely book. It's all about this girl that just sees this guy. She's on a bus, and she sees him on Christmas and is sat at the bus stop waiting, and their eyes meet and they just have this moment where like time stops, and they almost like, it's almost like love at first sight kind of thing. And it was just such a great book. I couldn't put it down. I read it in 2 days. I absolutely loved it. I almost missed my stop for my train to get home because I was so into it. So I highly recommend it. By the way, I've just set my brows with Natural Collection Clear Mascara. I'm going to be using my NARS eyeshadow primer just because I have very oily eyelids, and for some reason they just hate having eyeshadow on them. Most of these shades, bar 2, are also loose like eyeshadows. They come as 5s. I think they're like £5 for 5 or £6 for 5. They're super cheap. Again, Revolution. I did start collecting a couple Makeup Geek ones, so I think it's these two here. This one and this one are both Makeup Geek, but I don't think I'll be using them today. So all of them are Revolution, but I just really like the warm kind of tones, and they just do a nice little selection. So I'm going to start off with these. I'm going to be using this colour here first, which is from the Drama quad. Is it not? It's not. No, it's not a quad because it's 5. The word for 5. So I'm just going to use this as a transition shade to put in my crease, just to warm up my eye. Blend it out a little bit at first with my Real Techniques base shadow brush, which I think is a really nice shape for a blending brush. So I just kind of use them for what I find them useful for. And then I've got my MAC 217, and I'm just going to blend that away. Go in with this colour right next to it. It's just a brown one. I'm just going to pop this on and kind of take it further onto the eye. And now I'm going to use a colour from this one here, which is, I think it's from Burnt. I'm just going to kind of pack that on at the first half of my eye, just to give it some sort of colour, because I prefer kind of going from like light to dark with the eye. I mean, that's what I picked up from YouTube, that people tend to do that. So now I do it too, because I'm basically a sheep. I'm going to use this one, I think. This one right here. But I'm no pro, but I just thought this would be fun. So I'm just going to go in with a shade from the Neutral Ground. It's more of a kind of coppery kind of colour. This one, the Shimmer. And I'm just going to kind of put that on this first part, more of my like inner corner. And I'm just going to use this one here, which I think is called Gold Digger or something. And I'm just going to, because it's more of a orangey kind of shade, I'm just going to use it on the outer corner. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with my Revolution Conceal and Define concealer, just to put under my eyes. This is why I always like to leave under eye concealer until after I've done my eyeshadow, because there does tend to be a bit of fallout no matter how much you tap it. On the bottom of this brush I just have a tiny little bit angled brush. I'm just going to take a little bit of this brown shade here, because it's got quite a nice warmth to it, and just pop it with like along my lash line. And I just like putting it underneath because I feel like it links everything together and just can make the eyes look a little bit more, just a bit bigger. Now I'm going to go in with my tattoo liner, which is the Kat Von D eyeliner. It's the only one that I use. I also think if you ever have felt tip eyeliners, this is slightly different because it's got bristles, but I always put them in my brush. I keep them with my brushes and I stand them upside down, so then the liquid's always going down, and I find it stops them drying out as quickly. So there's a random little tip. Now the flick on this side is probably hard to see, but it's not exactly how I want it to look. So a quick tip is I get my micellar water and a little like cotton bud thing, I don't know what it's called, and just wet it on one side. We'll direct the flick the way that I want it to go. The brush that I'm using is Santa Rose, which is a Rimmel blush. I just find that it's like a nice warmth, but it's not like super pink, it's not like too orange, it's just quite a natural flush to the cheeks. And now I'm just going to use the other side of the contour stick that I have, which has a little highlight. So I'm just going to like draw the line where I would have my highlight, a bit on my nose, on this side as well. And then this might be like enough highlight for some people. You might just want that tiny little bit there. But I personally quite like just using it as like a base to then put a highlight on. So I'm going to be using Champagne Pop. This also is a e.l.f. brush as well. I just like having a little angled brush for my highlight, and then I just dust it on to give a bit of a glow. This is a little Real Techniques, it's a domed shadow brush. I'm just gonna dab a little bit of Champagne Pop and just put it on the brow bone. And now I'm going to use my favourite mascara at the moment. I actually, for some reason, I just always get like black bags under my eyes from any mascara, so I have to use a waterproof one, which is so hard to get off. But I tend to use the Emma Hardy cleansing balm, and it gets it off like a dream. This is the MUA Ultra Fine Loose Setting Powder. I hadn't bought a loose setting powder before, so I didn't want to like spend loads of money on it and not like it, but I find that this one is nice. But because I know I'm going to be going out for food, I'm going to use my Sexy Mother Pucker Lip Gloss by Soap & Glory. It is in the colour Plums Up. This is the final kind of like festive makeup look. I hope you've enjoyed. Like I said, I'm no makeup guru. This is just how I tend to do my makeup. And ta-da! And I'll show you what I pair with it later, like outfit wise and stuff. And I will wear earrings and things, but this is it. Come into my mum's room because she has a full length mirror and I do not. So I just thought I would show you. I'm just wearing this little velvet crop top from Urban Outfitters that I got in the sale. This little skirt that I think you've seen before from Primark. Tights, and then I'm probably going to wear boots. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit different to what I usually do, but I just thought it'd be nice to try out something different for a change. And do something a little bit festive. There wasn't a vlog. Next video is going to be a festive baking video, so I'm quite excited about that. I'm going to show you how to make my Christmas cupcakes. So I hope you enjoy that, and I shall see you back in a week or so with my festive cupcake video.